This month's theme, the 7-year itch. The term 7-year itch was first written about in 1854 by Thoreau in Walden, referring to scabies. What are scabies? Microscopic itch mites which burrow into the skin where they live and lay eggs that cause small bumps and intense, incessant itching. Why 7-year itch? Well, scabies can take up to 7 years to get rid of. Gross. The play, The 7-Year Itch, written in 1952 by George Axelrod, was the first place the idiom came to mean the point in a marriage when a person starts looking for something better. The 1955 movie of the same name, starring Marilyn Monroe, secured the phrase into common parlance as the time when restlessness sets in. When you've heard everything your spouse has to say, when you can't stand how they chew, or hate the sounds they make at night, or when the thrill is gone. The film is a perfectly silly romp in which Marilyn Monroe is the ideal fantasy femme fatale. No one gets hurt, except maybe the brutish male who gets punched in the face in the end, which is very satisfying. In the film, I enjoyed how Miss Monroe is in control throughout. She makes it crystal clear a married man is not dangerous to her. Nothing's going to happen between them. She's gorgeous. And intentionally ditzy, which is how I always thought Miss Monroe hid her intellect. And she's also kind and helpful to the hapless fellow. I love when she listens to a story about how his wife never suspects him of any kind of flirty behavior and assumes lipstick on his shirt is cranberry sauce. Because, well, he's no romantic catch. Miss Monroe says with pouty lips, "That's not very nice." In the end of the film, as he's running back to be with his wife, Marilyn kisses him and tells him not to wipe off the lipstick. In effect, she's saying, let the wife get jealous and let her care about losing a good man and see how a sensitive, gentle guy is quite desirable. Even in this light comedy, we see how we get in ruts in relationships. We get locked into the same fights over and over. Perhaps there is a standoff, distance, resentments, anger, lack of empathy and kindness. Maybe we stop caring about hearing how his day or her day went. Are we doomed to grow weary of one another? It seems to me that our culture promotes a myth that in romantic relationships we are always supposed to love our partners unconditionally. Not possible. Maybe we have bought into the idea that romantic love should always be in the honeymoon phase. No fighting, no conflict, no boredom, unattainable objectives. And there's the rub that becomes an itch and needs a scratch. It's a bill of goods, sold if you buy it. But it is possible to see our spouse as flawed and still love them, although difficult. It's difficult enough to see ourselves as imperfect and still love ourselves, isn't it? It takes courage and a big heart to love someone in spite of ourselves. As the song says, she don't lick her eggs all runny, he looks down his nose at money. It takes really listening to the other. It takes each person owning 100% of his or her faults, not my favorite part, and the 50% of the marriage faults. And in spite of ourselves, we'll be sitting up on a rainbow. Against all odds, honey, we're the big door prize. Thank you, John Prine. I found a therapy that helps in this place in the marriage where things get itchy. It's called Imago, created by Dr. Harville Hendricks and Dr. Helen LaKelly Hunt. They discovered a reliable way to stop the fighting. Their theory is we come together as a perfect pair. Our wounds match, and this offers us an opportunity to grow and heal. The very things that annoy us about each other are what can actually heal us. Imago is about really listening and being listened to. And it's true. When a partner is able to listen to the other, things settle down. It's weird. But when a person feels heard and understood and someone empathizes with how you feel, you stop being so angry. This happens in the film when Marilyn Monroe tells the husband he's the gentle, shy, nice guy who sits in the corner, and she prefers that kind of guy. She encourages him not to accept his wife's dismissal of him as a romantic partner, and because she sees the truth in him, he races back to his wife to seduce her. Also because she doesn't, do anything with him, too. The 7-year itch is really about a time to face our inner shortcomings, not about what's wrong on the outside. It's about us accepting our inner light and dark parts. Some of us, like me, use poetry to embrace our dark parts and bring them into the light, so we can love ourselves in spite of our flaws. Writing this intro reminded me of these 3 poems I wrote about relationships that support my notion that the itch should be scratched by self-knowledge. And these poems are numbered, and they're short. It's 1-page poem, so don't get excited. So 6. I wonder how you love me in spite of annoying habits. I admit it, I don't screw lids on jars. You shake a bottle, salad dressing coats the kitchen wall. It's a family trait. Alcoholism or clogged arteries, not screwing lids on. As sorry as I am, I hate admitting I'm wrong. You laugh, you hate it too. I say, let it go, I was born, make mistakes. Grateful, you love me anyway. 8. Why is forgiveness so difficult? When a hummingbird can beat its wings 90 times per second, fly backward, and drink nectar from honeysuckle. Shouldn't it be easy to say, sorry, I didn't mean to hurt you? And 5. All night the moon, wolf moon, achingly full, hangs in a pale gray sky, illuminates our sleeping bodies. Your breath heavy, deep like a cavern. I wake easily. We glow in the dark. Our house and the 2 of us. Blue embers of loneliness.